Okay, this time out, we are going to look at the Boss AC-22LX Acoustic Amplifier. Now, this is an amplifier that plugs into the wall, but it also takes batteries, so it's portable as well. So we're going to unbox it today, and we're going to run it through some tests and see if it can do what the promo says it does. And it's got a lot of different settings in it. It's got a drum machine in it and a looper in it. So we're going to unbox it and put it through the test. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to begin by cutting open the side of the box here. Let's try it down this way. There we go. That's this way. All right. Put this away. Like power supply. First thing off the bat is the power supply. And the funny thing is, look at this power supply. Looks like the same power supply that's on all the other Boss gear. See if it's got a label on the side. It does have a label on the side. The AC-22LX. So if you have a bunch of Boss gears and you get your power supplies confused, at least they're all labeled, right? I think they're all about the same though. I'll set that aside. We have a manual, owner's manual. Okay. All right. Now for the fun part, taking this thing out of the box. So look at that. Up out of the box like this. We'll go ahead and get rid of the box. Okay, well, it's small. Judging from the video that Boss put out, this thing's supposed to sound pretty good. We'll see how good it sounds. And it's light, very light. That looks like some of the other Boss speakers that have been put out in the past. It's got that kind of rounded front, you know, sort of rounded. And in the back, this is where the batteries go if you're using AA, would be my guess. Let's see. Pull this up. Yep, it's 2, 4, 6, 8 AA batteries. Okay. Looks like with a USB connection. Power supply, line out, right and left. So you can go into like a mixing board, auxiliary in, so you could probably do like a play backing tracks or that kind of thing. Up top, looks like we have our guitar in. We select what kind of air feel we want. This is the thing I really want to test out. Volume, bass, mid-range treble. Here's the effects section right here, reverb, and echo. We got a master volume, power supply. Up here is a connection for a microphone. Then you have a volume, bass, treble, and reverb for the microphone. I have some guitars that I'm going to try plugging into here to see how that sounds. And then we have our rhythm box here, like a built-in drum machine. We got a looper as well built into this thing. And here's a record out. It looks like a headphone out as well, so I guess you would plug headphones into this, or you could maybe run a line in here to record out. Well, this is the amp. It seems pretty durable and pretty rugged, even though it's got this fake look feel to it. But it seems pretty rugged and solid, and all Boss gear is really pretty solid and rugged. And it looks okay. It looks appealing. I mean, it's sitting down in the corner. If I take this out in the back patio with the batteries and take my acoustic guitar with me, and I can play and annoy the neighbors, which is what I'm looking forward to do, actually. So let's run a couple tests and see what this thing can do. Okay, so now I have the AC-22LX plugged into my computer. I've downloaded the drivers, installed the drivers, and I've downloaded Tone Studio for this acoustic amplifier. So now it's time to go ahead and see what the software can do. Tone Studio will help us program this thing.
and you'll be able to see all the features. So let's go ahead and take a look at the software in a little bit more detail. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to start Tone Studio for the acoustic amp, which is right down here. And now it's opened up. You can see that this is the basic interface. So let's start up here on this bar where it says Boss. Okay, so over here in System, okay, this is that controls all the system settings of the amp, obviously. So here's our USB settings right here. Here's the owner's manual. If you want to download the owner's manual, this tells you the version of the software. Over here's the mixer. We can do a mix out or a direct out. Okay, also there's looper settings for the looper. Okay, we want the guitarist and the mic in the loop, or we just want the guitar instrument, or we want the mic. So if we're using the looper, we can choose what we want in there. Okay, the recording time of the looper we can set at 45 seconds or 90 seconds for mono. Doing stereo, 45 seconds. Okay, now the foot switch will control the looper, but it also will control the memory settings. So we have memory settings kind of like what the Katana does, and we can also start and stop music apps with it, and there's a bunch of different things we can do with the foot switch. Here's our battery check. Our battery is already installed 8 AA batteries, and it looks like we got a full charge. These batteries seem to last a pretty long time. I haven't timed it, but I've had them in there for a couple of days, and so far so good. Okay, so I'm going to close this out now, and then we also have a tuner. Okay, so the tune this thing, I'm not in standard tuning. My 6th string is an E, and my A string, fifth string here, and then my 4th string is a D, and then my 3rd string is an E, and then my B string is an A, and my 1st string is an E. And just adjusting the 2 strings, here's the 3rd string, and here is the 5th string, or the 3rd string and the 2nd string, Okay, and that gives me this tuning. This tuning is great for the key of A minor, if you want to play an A minor. Okay, also great for E minor as well. That's a great tuning also for E major. So this is the front of the amp. Okay, we have, this is where our acoustic guitar plugs into, and this is the mic side of things. Now I have used a direct box and plugged into the microphone input, and it works well for an acoustic guitar, but just remember not to have the phantom power going, and you can plug in to the mic setting with another acoustic, and I've had 2 acoustic guitars plugged into here and it handled it just fine. So if you want to use this channel for an acoustic guitar, you can probably do that, because you're going to need a direct box. And then here is the basic setup of the amplifier. So we have the different air feel settings, and we have our volume, bass, mid-range, and treble, and this controls our effects. So up in here we have the reverb, right? And we go up a little bit further, and now we combine the reverb with the chorus, and we combine the 2 effects together. Kind of a weird way to do it, but if you don't want any chorus, you just come down to here, and now you have just the reverb. Okay, but you can switch all of these things on and off, and you can control it. So down here is a bigger breakdown of things. So this first thing is the reverb. Now you have 4 reverb units to select from. You have a plate, a room, a hall, and a modulate. Right now we have the room reverb going, and then we have 4 choruses to choose from as well. We have a mono, a stereo, a 2nd stereo, and a 2x2 stereo. And I've not tested all of these out, but there's 4 choruses to choose from. Also we have a noise gate, and we have one for the mic and for the guitar. And then we have our foot volume, if we're going to plug in a foot volume control panel. And then this is where we will choose rhythm patterns for the drum machine. So there's different types of rhythm patterns. There's more than this too, but there's different types of rhythm patterns that you can choose from. And that's the basic breakdown from this. So over here in the air feel setting, if you were to break this down, and Google recording acoustic guitar XY, AB, ORTF, and mid-side. These are all recording techniques. And you can Google any one of these, and it'll give you an insight of what these recording techniques are. And usually it's two condenser mics that are used for these things. And so what this amp does is it simulates both condenser mics using these various recording techniques. So you'll have different sounds. So over here, going down, you have the presets. So you have dry, XY, AB, ORTF, and mid-side. Over here, you have the panel button. Okay, there's a panel button on there. And there's three colors. So this is a dry green, okay? And then you have dry red, okay? And then you're gonna have dry orange as well, which is right there. Okay, so each one of these mid-side, each one of these air feel settings, like mid-side for example, you're going to have 3 different presets that you could save for each one of these. So there's 5 of these times the 3 presets for each gives you 15 presets that you can save for this amp. Okay, so this is what the dry sounds like. It's just basically dry. Now if I want to see the dry green feel, I can come down here to where we see dry green. It's just, if I want to go dry red, it's going to add a little bit of reverb. And we can go down to the orange, dry, let's see, dry orange, here we go. And now we got a little bit of chorus and reverb mixed together. Okay, so now you know what the dry sounds like. Our first miking technique here is XY. That's when you take 2 condenser mics basically and turn them like this. So I'll try the red, which is a little bit of a reverb in there. Okay. Let's try that with a little bit of chorus. Now let's try the AB setting. So it sounds like a little bit of reverb. Let's try the XY setting. Here it is with a little bit of reverb here. Okay, let's try it with a little bit of chorus. Okay, so you get the idea. Let's try the ORTF setting. And keep in mind that everything here is the preset that come from the factory. And let's try it with some chorus. Okay, and last but not least, we have our mid side. So now let's try mid side with some chorus. So those are all the presets, but they can be vastly improved upon. Now let's go over, we're going to fly over here to the librarian, and we can save these if we want. First we have to create a live set list, and we'll call this set list. Hit OK. So here's our set list, and now it's just a matter if we want to save them, just drag them over here, and we can save all of them this way. Okay, so now we have our presets all backed up, our little factory resets. If we ever want to restore any, we can just kind of drag it back to where we want. But what we're going to do now is go back to the editor, and we're going to adjust a few things here. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not really too happy with the tone of all of this, but I was able to mess around with this and get some pretty decent tones out of it. Mid side is one of my favorite ones on this, and I like the XY as well. But the first thing you have to do with anything is it's the EQ portion of it. Now, if I turn the EQ down, set all of these to 0, and I play something here. That's really what the guitar sounds like when it's plugged in. Okay, so these, when they're set to 50, you're really getting an exaggeration of these frequencies. So basically what you want to do is kind of come up with, let's see. pretty good for now. Let's go ahead and turn the reverb off so we can hear it a little bit better. If we take a little bit of the bass down, take the reverb down. Take the bass down a little bit more, and we're going to take the treble down to about 50, see what that sounds like. Well, let's see. Okay, so now we have a reverb setting set up, and we can just choose what kind of air field we want next. Here's AB. Good, now let's add some reverb, and there's 4 we can choose from. We're going to choose plate here, and we're going to raise our reverb time, and we're going to add some pre-delay, maybe about 25. Let's see what that sounds like. Turn on our reverb unit. There we go. And we have this on. We're going to go ahead and adjust it to about there. Okay, so our low cut and our high cut. We'll take our high cut. Here's flat. Let's take it down to 12.5. Here's 10. Let's try 8. Our low cut, let's do from 315. See what that sounds like. Starting to sound better. Yeah. Okay, good. Now let's add some chorus, and we're going to have to bring this up. Where's our effects, which is right here. I have to bring this up into here to turn the chorus on. And we have 2 different waveforms we can choose from. This is more of a... I'll take this high cut up to about 8.0. Our effects level will bring down to about 50. Let's do 50. Good. Good. Okay. 70 on the direct. Let's see what the other wave sounds like. Good, good, good. I like that. Bring up the effects level of this a little bit. Good. All right, so we have a basic preset here, and to save it, we're just gonna click right. and right again, and there it is. Okay, I only have a few more things left to show you, then we're going to be all done. Okay, first of all, this amp does take batteries, as you can see. Okay, here's the plate right here, and we have our 8 AA batteries, and then they last a pretty long time. I will say I've had these batteries in here now for about 2-3 days, and I haven't had any problems. It still says full charge on it. And for a battery-powered amp, it does get pretty loud, and it sounds pretty good for a battery-powered amp. I've not found any battery-powered amps that are as nice as this one. Now, when you turn it on, you have your 5 air feel settings here. Now, each one has a preset, as we talked about earlier, and that can be accessed by this button right here. And all you have to do is press it to get to your presets. Now there's 3 presets for every air feel setting. So each one of these has 3 presets that you can program, and you can customize the effects and the EQ or whatever you want. Now the other thing is that about these air feel settings, for it to sound good, you're going to need a couple of speakers. What do I mean by that? Well, they simulate 2 microphones, and what they do, if you look at it, the front of the amp, you can see. So you can see it's divided down the middle, and there are 2 speakers here, and they're kind of tilted like this. And it simulates both of those microphones, miking the acoustic guitar. And if you look on the back of the amp, you will see on the line out section, there's a left and a right. If you want to mimic this play feel, I discovered you have to have both line outs plugged in, and you have to have one panned hard left, and you have to have the right one panned hard right, and then you'll have a better representation of the air feel setting on this thing. That's if you plug it into a mixing board, of course. This is where the foot switch plugs in. Here's your power supply if you want to plug it in and not use the batteries. Here's your USB connection. Then here's a foot switch. This is where a foot switch plugs in. If you would use this foot switch right here, the FS6, okay? And then when you plug it in, you want a TRS cable. You just plug this in like this. Then this would go right into the middle, right there. You want to make sure the polarity is over there to the left, and you're going to make sure the mode is to the left as well. And then you're going to use the middle. And one switch, I'm not quite sure how it works, but I think this switch is going to control the drum machine on and off, and this switch could control the looper. I might have that wrong. You can set it up either way, though. You use the software to program the amp. You can set it up either way. So one will control the drum machine, and one will control the looper. And this is our power supply light for the switch itself, and the switch is battery powered right back there. Okay. Now,
And that's about it. That's about all there is to this. So I'm going to say that's it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to ask that you like and subscribe. That encourages me to make more of these videos. When I see people click on these videos and watch these videos, that encourages me to make more. Now, leave a comment. Give me some feedback. What do you think about this amp? You think it's worth the money? I forgot how much I paid for this thing. I think it was about 400 bucks. But it's a pretty good amplifier. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.